on. Shop right.
Shop left.
Shop left.
Shop right.
Right.
Shop left.
Shop right.
Shop left. Shop right.
Thank you so much. We had in 2016 the Triennial Council, wherein children from Lesotho, two, a boy and a girl, attended the Triennial Council. From the council, there were recommendations which were made by the children jointly, of which Lesotho's children also took part in. After they returned from the Triennial Council, we had a meeting to try and look into the recommendations, where we were with the children representing different APs, just as today we are also representing different APs. Among the recommendations, proposals, which were brought about by the children, we had one which was saying, in particular, is recommendation number 5, which was saying the children felt they need to be part of World Vision's governance. The proposal on which they were saying we could address as children of Lesotho, the recommendation was where they were saying it is important for us as the children of Lesotho to have a meeting or to constantly meet with the National Director, where we can be able to share with the National Director the child protection issues within World Vision Lesotho's area programs, and then also have the National Director providing us with advice and guidance as to how we can thrive as children of Lesotho. So the session is one of those where we are meeting the National Director of Lesotho as children to come and see what is it that we are able to share with the National Director and what are the advice she can give us so that we can see where we will go as the children within the National Office. Today we have different children representing, I think, almost all the APs who are participating within our area programs, and they'll be here sharing with the National Director what they think the child protection issues are, what initiative they have seen being taken place within their areas, and what they recommend as children can be done to improve the activities which are already taking place. So I think basically that's the objective of today, and that's why we are saying we're going to talk and have a platform with our National Director to share issues with the children who are participating on behalf of the rest of the children within the country. Thank you.
They will also be sharing about the interventions or the milestones, the interventions that World Vision has been doing in different area programs as to address the child protection issues that impact negatively on their well-being. Then they will also give some recommendations on how best do they think World Vision should do in order to address the prevailing or existing child protection issues in their areas. Then I know they just said they would like to have some personal questions to Pauline. So over to you, Abditaba.
As Mayor Maubet and Mayor Masis has already stipulated, we are going to be discussing those 3 burning issues that we would like to discuss with you today, Mayor Pauline. And I'm very sure that my peers in here, we are all ready, aren't we?
We are.
I would like to hear what we have in our minds to address this issue of challenges.
Thank you. And thank you, Mayor Pauline. It's really nice to have you here, and thank you for your time. It's really an honor. I would like to list the issues that I have, the issues that we have in our area concerning child protection. The first one is that there are children who are still neglected by their parents there at our areas, and due to being neglected, they are at risk of being abused. And the second issue is of child marriage. We have held several times our children's parliament talking about child marriage, but there are still children getting married at this stage. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Another issue. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Pauline, for inviting me here. In my area, as children's community from Sifigani AP, we normally call community gatherings and talk to children. But we've realized that we have a great challenge of teenage pregnancy. Most of our age mates drop out of school due to teenage pregnancy. Like lately when I was at home, maybe 5 of my age mates those two happen to be pregnant. Thank you.
I'm very sorry, Pauline, that's my bad. Actually, she arrived later than all the others. So her name is Diteboha Lebese. She's from Sifigani EP, as she has already said. Yes, and I would like everyone in here, I don't want to disclose for now, but I'd like all of us to give her a heartfelt round of applause. Thank you very much. We have 2, or as I've had 3, because she mentioned 2 and she mentioned 1. I would like to have others. Over to you, sister.
First, I would like to thank you as MC. This is the golden opportunity I get to say my words in front of you, man. I feel so honored. The issues on children's protection in our villages. We have initiation schools. This is whereby children boys drop out from school to the initiation for the culture, and this hinders their education. Furthermore, children are not given sufficient platform to raise their view on issues that concern them. In our villages whereby there are some improvements, we as children, we are not given to say the words on how that improvement will benefit us or will harm us. Furthermore, children's cases spend more in court. Children's cases spend more in court, creating unnecessary burdens and denial of justice. This means that the perpetrators will be just moving all around, and we as children will be in great fear.
Thank you. I can see this room is getting a little bit heated up, isn't it? I mean, I can hear people actually providing more than one issue, and that really says there is more work to do for World Vision at large, if there are so many issues that still need to be addressed. I would like more, I'd like to hear more. Yes, sister.
In my community, we encounter problems like lack of high schools, and that leads to child marriage, and we sometimes find that in some of the families there are financial problems whereby children will end up dropping out of schools and they will start getting involved in usage of drugs, and they become thieves and their life gets destroyed.
Thank you, my sister. Thank you very much. Nadigileba, you have to say something.
Okay, thank you, the moderator. You know, I'm Kabelo Kilipa from Sifigani, and I happen to interact or to visit a lot of APs here in Lesotho, and I'm quite aware of a number of issues, but specifically I want to stamp on this one of initiation. You know, initiation school is also influenced, these children of going to initiation schools is also influenced by the poverty we have in our areas. You know, for instance, in Mokotlong, I spent some 3 days there. You know, children there are so under bad conditions. You know, at some point you will find that these people actually have, they will be telling you that no, we don't have enough to eat, we travel long distances to school. At some point, they will show you a certain mountain that the school is just near, beside that mountain. You see, so some of them, they get raped when they are from school because they travel long distances. 2, a lot of them, it's a community norm. Girls are not, the education for girls is not prioritized. You get it. A 15-year-old girl, when they see the 15-year-old girl, they see the person who is ready for marriage. The parents even arrange the marriages and stuff in the background. And what I can also record, I'm sorry, I don't want to maybe rush. I'm aware that we have the recommendation session in the pipeline, so I want to stop. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, you have another thing.
May I please add more on what I said and on what else Dikakanya said? There is lack of collaboration among these people who are involved in child protection issues. Like for instance, a child may be abused and they take a long time to process the case, or even they don't even process the case and the child is left depressed. We don't have, I'm not sure if we have them, but I've never seen the facilities whereby abused children are taken to psychology to restore their personality.
Okay, over to you, my sister.
The other problem is poor health facilities. In our community, there are poor health services and lack of water, where we find it difficult for us as young people and our elders because we have to travel long distances searching for mental health services and water.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I think is there any other issue you would like to raise? Okay,
thank you for giving me this opportunity to stand in front of you. I would like to add on that sister's point. Health, she was talking about good health. To that point of health and drugs, many people their health is destroyed because of drugs.
We are hearing so much about children of Lesotho. We hear the trends in cultural beliefs and practices being actually the potential harms that inflict on children. We hear the beliefs and we also hear the neglect of parents, so much that children end up engaging in drugs, as he has already said. We hear lack of infrastructure, schools, health facilities, and water, and we also hear so many other challenges that as the Basotho children we face in our everyday lives. And despite the involvement of those stakeholders, there is still not enough service delivery. But despite all of this negativity, despite all of this tears that we are crying, there might be some remedies that are being inflicted to address the issues, even if it's not meant to fully address, but at least to hinder or to at least try to control the situation and harmonize the communities. This is where we come to the second item on our list, the interventions that World Vision as an organization has actually inflicted to try to address to the said issues in the first item. And we can also name them as milestones. So I would like to hear from you, my peers, as in your views, in your communities, in your different communities, what have you seen, what have you identified as the interventions that you would proudly stand for us and say, World Vision has done this to address a certain problem that we as children had identified being one of those that made us never be able to go to sleep. And we are also aware that World Vision is meant to address child protection related issues, right? So in our points, when you're still trying to provide those interventions, we should be able to identify that they were meant to provide for the child. They were meant to entertain the child, right? So that we don't get mixed up and start talking about issues that maybe involve our elderly or our mothers and fathers. All right? Thank you. So I would like all of us to start brainstorming on the interventions, and I would like to call the first person to talk about the intervention they would proudly say World Vision has done. So many hands. Yes,
Thank you, Mr. NC, and I'm very thankful for the opportunity that you gave us and for your time. All I want to say for the intervention of World Vision is that in my area, Sifikane AP, World Vision, under the basic or the right for every child for basic needs, it shows or it gave children or it supplied children with shelter, for example, and food. There are food packages given to children who are vulnerable and orphans. Thank you very much for that.
Okay, yes.
Thank you, Master Samuel. In Matlamini P of World Vision, we normally run parliaments for young children so that they can have a word or a right to be heard and a right to achieve your common goal. Thank you.
Thank you. Other hands? Other hands, ladies and gentlemen. Participation is key. Participation, yes, also.
The interventions that World Vision has been doing to address the issues. World Vision gives out food parcels and sanitary sponsorship and we as children from the parliament hold workshops at schools and communities to address early marriage issues. Thank you.
Okay, I'll sit here.
I'm still in one of them winning AP. Other interventions that World Vision has done in, I'll take it from Lesotho. This one of Children's Parliament, whereby we as children were given a golden opportunity to participate and say our voice should be heard, and we have right to be heard to the Prime Minister so that they will hear what we as children are crying for and take it into consideration so that they will implement it when they are making the laws. And so we thank World Vision for that.
Okay, yes, I'll sit down.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. In my community, Sifikane AP, most of the schools we had toilets for children, but they were not child friendly. So, for instance, they did not provide privacy. They were not clean. But with the help of World Vision, now the schools in my community have toilets which are very child friendly. We really appreciate that.
Good work, World Vision, good work. Any more interventions that we may identify? Yes, my sister.
In Mateli, World Vision established
the societies that make sure that the children meet their needs and wants. And we provided some schools with toilets, tanks, and taps to make sure that their life is more easy.
So handy as
Thank you for granting me this opportunity. In my community, World Vision helped us with child's rights, like right to eat and right to play. So when the children were supplied, they were brought some games so that children can play. That's
good. Yes, listen.
In Mapate, World Vision built CGPU office, where they wanted to ensure that children's issues are dealt with privately, and that children can be able to report issues that affect them.
Yes.
Again, in Matlaming AP, World Vision have provided us with water supply and a good one, which help us in hygiene and help us in health in general. Thank you.
Mr. Kilepa.
Thank you, Moderator. You know, one of the interventions or the milestones which I wish to comment on is World Vision has the tendency, or I can say, of commemorating these days, you know, the International Literacy Day, the Menstrual Hygiene Day, or sanitation and water. You know, I love that because it raises awareness and maybe a call to the community to appreciate, you know, when we commemorate the Day of a Girl Child, girls are given the sanitary materials. It's actually an awareness to the community that this is of paramount importance. It is not just you know, it's not a secret that girls should use the sanitary towels. It is not a secret that, you see, it stimulates or it makes the community to see or recognize some of the issues which one may say they are minor, but they are not. You know, I want to comment on it because at some point in my school, when I was back in high school, we were celebrating the hands washing day, or I don't know, but World Hygiene Day. You know, some people were so impressed that they did not know how to wash their hands. They were then given the sessions on how to wash your hands properly, and like one may say it's a minor thing, whereas it is not. You see, so I'm saying World Vision, for its ability to recognize those things which people can say they are minor, whereas they are not, that has to be appreciated. Then it's a milestone.
That's a very strong point. Okay. Any more points? Okay, sister.
With the help of World Vision, most children in Lesotho now know their rights. Like, firstly, for instance, in schools we are not taught about our rights. We didn't know our rights, but then we started attending World Vision workshops, so that we were taught about our rights and responsibilities. And then from the workshops, we held community gatherings, whereby we taught other children about their rights and responsibilities. And that's how the knowledge of rights and responsibilities was able to go across Lesotho. Thank you.
Okay, I saw a hand this side.
Just it's a question. Do you mean we have to tell the issues, then it's milestone?
Yes. That's what I mean. So from you right now, I would like to hear the recommendations that you would like Mayor National Director here to listen attentively to and note them down to take.
Thank you very much. I think that as one of the challenges that I mentioned is that there is no availability of psychological support for children. So I think World Vision, I know the government has done this under the Ministry of Social Development, but I think we can take this opportunity or this stage to avail psychological support to children who are being abused.
That's nice.
Another thing is a one-stop center. I know that it would be difficult, but if ever World Vision should try making a one-stop center dealing with child protection issues to address the cumbersome referral system, and then maybe then our issues can be held with care.
I usually talk to my schoolmates about things we do as children in Civic and in AP under the help of World Vision. So they ask me, okay, when we have this World Vision in our communities, we would also like to do these things you do. So if it was possible, I would like World Vision to be in Lesotho, abroad Lesotho, not only in city places, because it's with World Vision children can voice their voices.
Yes, Mr. Kilefa.
Thank you, Mr. Lee. I want to add on her point, but my focus is mostly on areas such as Mokotlo, Tabatseka, and the highlands. Here in the lowlands, there are a lot of NGOs dealing with issues of children, But my focus, my recommendation is that I so wish World Vision can erect its measures to Mokotlo specifically. I'm touched because I once arrived in that place. I know the situation, not because I was told or I read it. I arrived in that place. I saw the well-being of children in there, it's below average. So with maybe comparing the places like Mokotlo and in my district, Berea, where World Vision has been operational ever since, there is quite a huge difference, and I so wish World Vision can maybe open a fully operational AP in Mokotlo. Number two, in issues of child participation, this one's whereby children go to have the community workshops and stuff. I so wish we can uphold that. When we go to the communities, there is wide coverage of children. It is true that World Vision is using its funds to take children to the hotels and stuff, but I think let's uphold this one of going to the communities, because in a day we cover maybe, at some point we had sort of a campaign, I can name it, whereby we visited all the high schools in Berea, specifically in AP. In a week, we covered close to 11,000 children. And it was even less expensive because for us taking that number to the hotel or to a certain place, it would be more expensive than that. So let's uphold this one of visiting the areas, this one of making community dialogues, community workshops, and I think I wish to see that happen. Thank you.
Even though those societies ask us children because they do not meet our needs. So I suggest that there should be measures or steps taken by World Vision to influence members of societies and parents to come up with a plan on how they can generate income to satisfy our needs as children.
In attitude of initiation schools. I think World Vision can make projects. We can start projects in our communities so that at least we can limit the rate of initiation schools in our community, so that they can at least work in the fields. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, my brother. Oh, so sorry.
There are adults and corners there at hospitals, but I must say they do not really do what they are supposed to do. And I think that if World Vision meant the adolescent corners, maybe then we wouldn't have so many numbers of girls being pregnant.
Mr. Musiti, you had something to say?
I was going to talk about the recommendations. Even though we're still trying making the workshops and the stuff, if not enough, because when we get home, we'll be making the gatherings. So the head boys will not be there, some people will be to their jobs. There will be no help because we'll be covering maybe 20% of our villages.
All the things that you've shared, the challenges, the progress, and recommendation, rest assured that they've been taken in. It's so interesting that 2 weeks ago we were reviewing our strategy. I mean, just looking at what is it that we need to do. And one of it is gauging the landscape, what is happening within the Lesotho, so that as we even go ahead in the next years, what are we going to focus? And let me assure you, the recommendation that you've provided, because of time I can't even go through it. Otherwise we'll have gone one by one and just nailed it down on what is expected. One of it that has been emerging recurrently, based on what I've heard from you, is the issue of psychosocial support, counseling services for the children that are abused. I'm actually very touched by what is happening. I think as an organization, I'm so impressed that, or pleased that you have our staff here in board. That is Mema Sisa, Mema Albert. They're very passionate about children, and Muruti behind there. Of course, media is one of the areas that champion, particularly in just creating awareness on the issues that are affecting. So Tate Atang is also one of them. Very critical people that are here to influence and even ensure that the recommendations that you provided are captured into our direction as an organization. Yeah, so I just want to reiterate that. And the other thing is just to thank you with a passion. That's what matters. The passion you have as children, representing all the children. I know Lesotho population of children is around 700? 765. Yeah, 765,000. Just you who are seated here, and I'm sure others are out there, you can actually permit and make great impact on those other children that are not represented here.